Okay, so this will hopefully be a number of segments, a little bit of a tutorial from what you guys saw last night when we went through how to make some changes to the website. So we're going to start here at an open browser, and you can use Internet Explorer, you can use Firefox, which is what I'm using, or really any browser, assuming, of course, Katie's problem is able to get fixed and she's actually able to see the website. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to the top to what we call the address bar, which is where you type in the address or the URL of the websites that you want to go to. And in this case, we'll type childreninchrist.com/WP, which stands for WordPress, which is the content management system that we're using, dash admin. And admin is just short for administrator. You can see it's already been there a number of times, so it's kind of showing up there. But if you just type that in and hit enter, it should bring you to this page where it asks you for your username and your password. I emailed that to you guys yesterday. I'm actually going to use Mom. I'm going to use your username and passwords. That way this screen will look the same way it would for you guys. So your username is going to be Kathy, and your password is going to be Kathy123 unless you changed it today. And you did not. Great. Okay, so this is now what we call your dashboard. This is going to be kind of your home base. And this is where you'll be able to, kind of make all the changes that you need to in the back end of the website. So what we're going to start with is this kind of right now section, which I showed you guys last night. And this shows you kind of an overview of what's out there currently on the website in terms of content. You can see we have 9 posts. And remember, the posts are kind of like articles. You file a post under a given category. You can see we have 27 of those right now, and that includes, the kind of the main heading categories that go across the top in that gray bar, as well as all the subcategories beneath them. We also have 12 pages. And pages, if you remember, we talked about are the static, pages in the site that really don't change from, over the course of time, and really kind of once they're out there, that's kind of your content that's going to stay. So you're not really going to be adding a whole lot of new pages here and there. While you guys are getting started, of course, you'll be adding and subtracting pages and changing all them. But once you get the site kind of set up, you'll mostly just be adding new posts. So we're going to take a look into the posts currently that are out there. And so I'll do that by actually clicking on this posts right here. I believe if you click on the 9, it'll actually do the same thing. And we'll take a look at the posts that we currently have out there. Right now you can see here are the 9 posts that we have. You have each of the titles in this kind of first column called post. Who wrote it? In this case, they were all written by me, the administrator. Which categories they're filed under. And then any sort of tags that the post has. Those are kind of your first 4 columns. Then additionally, you see the number of comments that each post has. So this games that can be played in the dark. This has one comment, and that was actually that comment we saw last night from IAD. And then finally, we have the date that the post was published on. So a couple things that we went through last night, and I'll actually pull up a version of the site as well so that we can kind of tie what we're seeing in this back end to the front end. So first thing is this sticky identification that we see for creative storytelling and Welcome to Children in Christ Network. What that sticky is it's actually getting that post to show up in this kind of large main sort of kind of the headline main item, and you'll see it kind of fades in and out. And right now there's only 2 stories, so just going between the 2. But you could use these arrows to navigate, and presumably you'll eventually get more posts up there and have more than just the 2 stories. So in order to add that sticky identification, which will get the post into that sort of main headline section, we're just going to go ahead and click this Quick Edit button, which is right underneath the post name, and you'll see it pulls up a little bit of information here. And over on the far right, we see this little check mark that'll make this post sticky. So, for this creative storytelling, we'll actually uncheck this update post, and it, nice hides away for you. And we'll go back to the to the main site. Now one thing you'll see is, oh look, it actually still appears there. Well, what you always have to do with browsers, anytime you make a change in the back end, is you want to hit refresh. You can do that by clicking this Reload Current Page button. It's going to look a little different in Internet Explorer, but it'll be basically the same sort of logo, kind of an arrow making a full circle. The other alternative that you can do is hit F5, one of the function keys, and that'll actually do the same thing, which is basically refresh the page. So once we do that, we'll see now we have this Welcome to Children in Christ Network story, and if we wait 8 or 9 seconds or so, we won't actually see that creative storytelling pop back up. And that's because we removed it from the sticky, and it's no longer sticky. So let's go back in there, hit Quick Edit, and make this post sticky again, and that'll actually make it show back up on the site again. So now we can see creative storytelling is appearing there again. The posts are going to appear in reverse chronological order in terms of the order in which they show up in this little kind of headline box. And that's kind of intentional. Let's get your most recent content up there first and kind of put that out there to your users as to show them that you're fresh and you're updating. So we're going to go back to the back end and show you the other thing I showed you guys, which was this news and updates category. And what the news, anything that's tagged in news and updates will actually show up back on the main site in these 3 thumbnail boxes beneath that main headline box. Again, as I mentioned in the document I sent over earlier tonight, the Word document, those are going to also be in reverse chronological order. So there's really no way to get something to be permanently here unless we looked into it a little bit more. But kind of as we're going, we're going to treat these as the same as that main headline box. You're basically going to have your most recent story here on the left, and then it kind of goes to the second and the third most. So what you can do is you can go into the quick edit mode, with any of these posts here. So let's say we want 10 games you can play with the ball. Let's have that show up there, in that kind of the 3 story thumbnail section. So we'll do the quick edit, and then we'll notice here we have all these different categories that we can file this post under. And right now it's filed under games and group games. But if we scroll down a bit, we see that news and updates. So if we just check that and click Update Post, go back to our main site and hit refresh, now we see that 10 games you can play with a ball is now showing up in that thumbnail section. Now, of course, we got an issue here because it's all black and we don't have a thumbnail for it. So I'm going to take a break here and try to keep this into a number of short recordings. And in the next recording, I'll show you how you can add photos in to that thumbnail and also add photos into the actual posts themselves.